Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Divorce-a-Palooza. What is discovery? When I got divorced several years ago, I had never heard the term. I had no idea what that meant. My lawyer was throwing around that word. I was like, wait, what's that? Never even explained it. And basically, that's what we want to talk about today. The divorce process can feel really overwhelming. You're going to hear all kinds of terms that you don't even know what it is. And we want you to feel better about it. So I have two wonderful guests that I want to introduce, and we're going to talk about discovery and how we can help you through that part of the divorce. My guests are Catherine Shanahan, a CDFA, and Karen Chellew, who is a former legal liaison, and Catherine and Karen are the co-founders of My Divorce Solution. Hello, Catherine and Karen.
Hi, Jackie.
Well, thanks for
Nice
having
to see you guys.
You too. Thanks for having us.
So, do you agree with me when people come to see you or have a consult with you? They really don't even know what discovery is, or they just found out and they're like, well, I really don't understand, right? I mean, I was there. So I guess before we talk about what discovery is, tell people who are watching what My Divorce Solution does so that they can understand the context of what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, so a lot of people, when they're approaching the divorce process or when they're in the divorce process, most of the time they're very behavior centric, right? And they don't really understand about the actual function of the divorce process, which is preparing your marital estate financially, understanding it so you know the financial impact of any division scenarios you would have. So if you're working with an attorney or mediator, they call that the discovery process. They say, here's your financial affidavit, fill it out. And by the way, give us all these documents, and you're immediately thrown into this vortex of confusion, and you're trying to get documents and then you kind of peter out, and then they keep asking for more documents, updated documents, and you never understand, or you never get to the point of, not never, I shouldn't say never, but you don't get to the division. And so we've created a proprietary software platform that
Okay,
allows.
I'm going to stop you right
Okay.
there and then you
Okay.
can continue. But I
Okay.
want to say when Karen's saying documents, she's talking about every account financially that you ever opened since you were married and even before. So if you were married to someone for 20 years and now you're getting divorced, this is every investment, every property, every single document financially related, because what each side gets to do in discovery, you are discovering what the other person has. So the judge and both lawyers need to see everything. And so that can feel really overwhelming because you might have all these accounts you forgot about. You're like, "Oh, we did make that investment, but that was like 12 years ago. I forgot about that." So that's what we're talking about when we say accounts. Okay, go ahead, Karen.
Yes, that's true. And to your point, Jackie, a lot of people think it's his and hers, or hers and hers, or his and his. It's actually yours and yours, right? It's actually what you're dividing. And a lot of people do misunderstand that. But
Well, it's
my
also where you're not dividing because there is separate property.
100%. Yeah. So we have developed a software platform that's called the Divorce Preparation Platform, where you work with a team of lead advisors, a CDFA, divorce financial specialist, and a legal liaison, and a client manager to walk you through the process of understanding what the components of your marital estate are, answering the questions, uploading documents. So as you're moving through the process, you're understanding how it works step by step by step. So by the time you're working with your divorce financial specialist, you are very aware of what it is you have so that you can make really good, confident, informed decisions about what you will propose will be your share of the marital estate.
Let me add in there what I really love about
Yeah.
our process. And when you talk about discovery, and we're talking about the financial discovery part of the process, is that, I'm just a financial, right? So I'm always dumbfounded that two people have to go to two different attorneys to hand in the same document. So you're paying two attorneys to collect the same piece of paper, and they're not assessing it, they're just collecting it. So for us, we've created this process where you can come in and your spouse can participate and you both can give us the same document. It's a flat fee, so you're not paying two other professionals to collect it. And then we organize it and digitalize it so that you can share it. But in addition to that, we then also take it the next step further and we do that assessment. That's what your team does for you. So you do understand, like Karen's saying, the impact to the decisions you have to make. But most importantly, as it relates to discovery, you don't need two firms collecting the same piece of data. It just doesn't even make financial sense. And so
Right.
even if you don't think your spouse will participate, I'm happy to say we have over an 80 to 90, maybe it's 90% now participation rate of spouses, which we're happy
Well,
to
I
celebrate
I
with.
would think that the other spouse would jump in when they realize what the person did. Like they'll be like, "Oh, wow, I didn't even realize this. You did all this." Because here's what I want to tell people watching. You have to gather these documents anyway. If you gather them for your attorney, you're paying your attorney to like get them, put them all together. Your soon to be ex is paying his or her attorney to put them all together, and you're paying double. Why not give it to my divorce solution? If you give it to Catherine and Karen, they're going to analyze it for you. But then, as Catherine said, they're going to take a step further and say, now that we have all this information that you can go bring it to your lawyer, that's going to cut off hours and hours of billing time of your attorney. And I think you guys said you save people like 80% of the cost because the attorney really has nothing to do as far as gathering the documents and seeing what everybody has and all that. So they give it to their attorney, but then my divorce solution will take it a step further and say, okay, based on what you're telling us, here are three scenarios. Decide what you guys want and maybe use one of these scenarios or tweak them. We just settled your divorce case for you financially, basically.
Well, it's not telling us what you think it is. It's us showing you based on the data what some of your options are. And then for what you're saying, yes, tell us that you want to keep the house and we show you what the financial impact of you keeping that house is. Or, you want to keep your RSUs or your stock options. So, okay, well, here's the impact of keeping those or negotiating those away, either way. But most importantly, you're making the decision for yourself. And you're making that decision because we're providing the knowledge that you need. And in divorce, knowledge is absolutely everything. Without financial knowledge, there's no chance in hell that you're going to make a good decision for yourself. So we just back everything up so that you have the knowledge, you make the decision, you're your own advocate. And then a lot of times you can make decisions based on information that you don't have. Do you want to go to court and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars fighting for information that you don't have? Or do you want to ask for something more of what you do have? So it's nice to be able to talk through what's available to you, what's rightfully yours, and then you of course make that decision. That's where Karen and I find our most pride is when we see our clients come from beginning to end, and at the end they want to work for us, for one, or number two, because they want to help others now, and before they didn't even think they can help themselves, so now they want to help others, which is so rewarding.
Well, I love that it's a flat fee because nobody feels like the clock is ticking and they can ask you as many questions. They can send you guys emails. Hey, I have a question about this. And it's not like when you're texting or calling or emailing your attorney and you're being billed by the hour. Not that I'm putting attorneys down. You definitely need a divorce attorney to legally get you divorced, to go to court and submit your divorce for you. But what these guys are doing is they're shaving off hours. And they're also giving you a more comprehensive document that is easy to read for everybody and spells everything out together. I absolutely love it. And I love the fact that all three people on this call have been through a divorce. Catherine's been through it, Karen's been through it, I've been through it. So not only are they bringing their professional experience, but they personally understand and made the mistakes going through their divorce that I did also before my divorce solution was created.
So true. And you know what? By going through this process, you are provided with the knowledge that you need to make really good informed decisions. A lot of people go through an entire divorce And I can't tell you how many times they're coming to us on the eve of trial or mediation, and there's clearly missed assets or nuances of an asset that haven't been valued because no one brought it up, it got forgotten, or was intentionally not disclosed. So that is the value of this process, going through step by step so that everything is at the table and then discussed so that, again, that you can make really good financial decisions for yourself.
Now, I'm going to actually tell everyone who's watching, it's a little funny because if you go to your lawyer and say, "Hey, I heard about this company, My Divorce Solution, and they have this document called a financial portrait, and they're going to put together all this stuff for me," the lawyer might be like, I don't know if you need them, right? I mean, let's be honest here. And this isn't a cut down to lawyers, but it's really taking money out of their pocket because you're not going to be paying them to do all this work. And again, I know some wonderful, wonderful attorneys who are good at presenting to a judge, mediating divorces, helping the process through mediation. But if somebody walks into that with a document like yours from MDS, it's just gonna be so much easier and everybody's gonna it's like eye-opening. And
Mhm.
so it's just gonna cost people less and the divorce is gonna take less time. And again, flat fee. I love it, you guys.
Thank
You.
you. Yeah. And I think just one thing to add to that, not only is the cost of the yeah, we are flat fee and that's one thing. But what I've seen, and Karen will probably agree, over these last 9 years is that you don't realize the cost of the mistakes that you make. It's not even the fees that you're paying the other professionals, but by choosing a wrong asset or negotiating away something else or having your wrong income imputed on you. Those are costly mistakes that go on for years. And so you don't want to do that. You want to know what's rightfully yours, what's out there, what's missing, and what decisions do you need to make that's going to affect you, not just now when you're trying to get through the process because you want it over with and everybody's promising each other to be good to each other sometimes financially afterwards. It doesn't really happen like that. So you could be making really costly financial decisions for yourself and your family moving forward that you can't undo.
You just described my divorce. I mean, we went back to court for years because we were thinking way too short term. You want to set it up now. And if you have this document, you'll always have all the info in front of you.
Mhm.
Catherine Shanahan and Karen Chellew, thank you so much for being on Divorceapalooza. Tell everyone who's watching the best way to get in touch with you if they're interested in talking.
Well, we have a podcast called We Chat Divorce. Our website is mydivorcesolution.com. We're on most of the social media sites, Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, all of that. So we're kind of hard not to find, but we certainly look forward to meeting you.
Well, the podcast is wonderful and the website is simple, mydivorcesolution.com. You can also find My Divorce Solution in the trusted professional section of Divorced Girl Smiling, which is divorcedgirlsmiling.com. Thanks again, Catherine and Karen.
Thank you.
You.
And thanks everyone for watching.